Hey guys, let's do this thing. We're going to set up a new program. This is going to be Tank 4, and we're going to try to focus our efforts on structured text. Granted, we might have to borrow something from somewhere else at some point, but we will cross that bridge if and when we come to it. So, as you're probably familiar with it by now, we're going to set up the program. That's going to be Tank 4. We're going to put it on slot 2, and we're going to save this thing to the desktop for future reference. Gotcha. And OK. And let's start off coming in here and creating our new routine. And that routine is going to be ST1, structured text. Good. And back into our main ladder. Let's jump to it. So there's our JSR, jump to subroutine. We're going to be jumping to ST1, and we are not going to need any of these junky parameters. I hate parameters. Okay, so now we can focus on what we want to focus on, and let's start by getting this thing going just like we've been doing in the other languages. Let's get it into the modes, and we'll go from there based on how much time we've got. So to get started on this, let's start off by setting our modes just like we have with the other paradigms. And based on how much time we've got, we'll go from there and see how far we go with this system. But the first thing we want to do is look at our modes, and we know we're going to have mode 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's go ahead and start off by defining mode 0. And the only way we want to go into mode 0 is when somebody hits the stop button. And to do that, we know we like to use a one-shot. So let's come up here and create a one-shot. And we will call this ONS1. That's just a simple one-shot name like I like to use. And I'll right-click on there and create that new one-shot in our program scope. That's fine. And now we also need to set up this one-shot a little bit. So let's go ahead and check in our help menu, and we're going to remind ourselves what the parameters are called. And what we need is the input bit and the output bit. So let's go ahead and set input bit and output bit for ONS1, and that's input bit :equals, and we're going to set that input bit equal to our stop button. So let's go ahead and create a stop_btn and terminate this line with a semicolon, and then we're going to need to define that stop button, and we'll go ahead and make that a bool and hit create. And then we have an output bit, and that output bit is going to trigger us getting into mode 0. So let's go ahead and create that output bit here, and that's going to be, we'll call that mode 0_trigger, and we will set that equal to, that's going to be our ONS1.output bit. And did I spell it right? It looks like I did, so semicolon, and we need to create a new tag for that trigger. That's going to also be a bool. Hit create. There we go. So now we've got a one-shot set up for our stop button, and we know we're going to have two other buttons in here. We're going to have a start button, and we're also going to have an alarm reset. So while I'm setting up one-shots for buttons, maybe I just go ahead and set them all up. So why don't I copy that, paste one here, paste another one here, and I'm going to go in here and change this to ONS2. So I can just redefine that in all three places. I can come down here and just redefine this one as one-shot 3 in all three places. And then let's actually look at what we've got. Well, we've got our input bit for the stop button. I'm just going to change that and make it the start button. And then I can come down here, and this one is going to be the alarm reset. Perfect. And now I just need to come in here and create some things. So let's go ahead and create my 2 one-shots, and that'll get rid of some of the errors that we're seeing on the screen already. And then we need to define our alarm reset. That's going to be a bool. And now we've got that bottom block all cleaned up. And once we do the same for our start button, now look at that. We've got our 3 buttons already set up with one-shots. And we do need to rename these triggers also. So the start button is going to be a mode 1 trigger. And this third one-shot is going to be, we'll call that ALM RESET trigger. And let's go ahead and define those as well. So those are both going to be bools. Create 1 and create 2. And then we're also going to no doubt need one-shots for our other modes as well. But let's start off by these, and then we can always come back and do another copy and paste operation to create some other modes. So for now, let's actually look at getting ourselves into these modes. So we're going to start by creating an if statement. And that's going to be if we want our mode 0 trigger. So I'm going to double click that just to copy it, bring it down here and paste it. If mode 0 trigger, then what? Then we want to set our mode, and that's going to be, we need to define it. So let's call it mode underscore int. That's fine. And colon equals, and that will be equal to 0, semicolon. And then we can go ahead and type our end if statement, because this is going to be the end of that if clause. And let's go ahead and create our mode int. So now we have one simple if statement that's going to get us into mode 0, and that's only going to happen on one single scan. And we can do the same thing to get ourselves into mode 1 at this point. So if, and we don't want mode trigger now, or mode 0 trigger rather, now we want mode 1 trigger. So actually, instead of copy and paste, I can just change that to a 1. And good. Now we should have a way to get into mode 1, and we should have a way to get into mode 2. Very cool. So next we need to look at fill and drain, and that's going to be based on our low switch and our high switch. So we need to define those, and we need to set up a little bit of logic here. So when do we want to actually look at our switches? We want to look at our switches anytime we are not in an alarm condition and anytime we are not off. So let's maybe go ahead and define some things that are going to tell us what kind of mode we're in, whether we're in an alarm mode or whether we're in normal operating mode. So we'll say if, and then we want to look at our modes. So we want to say mode underscore int equals 1, or if mode underscore int equals 2, or mode underscore int equals 3, then, and at that point, if we're in mode 1 or mode 2 or mode 3, then I would say that we are in a normal mode. So then let's go ahead and create something called normal mode, normal underscore mode, and set that equal to 1, semicolon. And we can go ahead and right click and create that. So that's going to be, actually we're going to let that be a bool. Got it? And then we're going to have an else statement here. So if we're not in one of those modes, then we'll go ahead and say normal underscore mode colon equals 0. So at that point, no, we are not in a normal mode. And from there, we can go ahead and end our if statement. So now we have something telling us if we're in a normal mode, and if we use that together with another condition for our low switch, maybe that can tell us whether to go into fill mode. We also need to set up a timer for that, and timers are another headache, so that's okay. We're going to do it though. So when do we want to look to see if we need to go into fill mode? Fill mode is going to be when we're in a normal mode. So let's go ahead and work on setting a trigger to go into fill mode. So we're going to use another if statement, and that's going to be if normal mode, and we're going to say now we want to look at our L_SW. That's going to be our low switch. Then, and let's come over here and let's create that tag for our low switch. That's of course a Boolean because it is a switch. Then we want to go ahead and run a timer, and we're going to take a 5-second timer to get us into that mode. So let's come over here to timer, take our TONR, and let's see, when we hover over that, all we have to do in here is invoke our tag, and so that will be our fill_delay. And we can terminate that with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and create a space, because right above here we're going to want to fill in what those parameters are. First, I'm going to come up here and just do a little indentation, because that makes everything look so much better, especially when you're using nested statements and ifs and for loops and things like that. So same thing for this. We're just going to go ahead and push that out a little bit, and then we'll come down here and end our if, even though we're actually still going to be working on it. So now we've got something going here. Let's go ahead and create our new timer. We've got it, and then let's pull up our help menu and let's see what kind of parameters we have to set to make a timer work in here. So we've got our function block, and there's our structured text. Our operand is just our tag, and then we actually get into our timer structure. It's not nearly as bad as the alarms, but there are still a few things we have to set. Like most things, we have an enable in, but of course by default that's already good. So we need our timer enable, and that's what's going to allow it to start working. We also need to set a pre, which is going to of course be our time that we're counting down to. And our enable out is going to be good by default. We just need to worry about, in this case, our DN. So I don't think that's too terribly cumbersome. Let's check this out. We're going to start by doing our fill_delay dot, and we want to set our pre : equals. That's going to be a 5,000 millisecond. And then we're going to need to enable the timer and actually energize it and make it start running while we're in this if condition. So that's going to be fill_delay dot, and that's going to be timer enable. And we're going to set that equal to 1. And just like that, did I get it? It looks like it's giving me some kind of error. What do I have wrong in there? I know I spelled something wrong, didn't I? Well, I'm not seeing anything off the top. Well, I must have had the wrong punctuation in there, because when I retyped : equal, it went back to good. And that's going to get this thing moving. So that will create our output for us. That will create our done bit, which we can then use with a one-shot. But for now, we're going to need something that resets this timer when we're not using it. So we're going to put in an else statement here, and we're going to go ahead and disable this timer, and we're going to reset it just in case. So we're going to set enabled equal to 0, and then on the next line it's going to be our fill_delay dot reset, and we will set that equal to 1. And just like we're setting it equal to 1, we're also going to want to come up here and set it equal to 0 if we're actually using it. So these things don't automatically reset every scan. You don't have a simple reset command going on right here. We're actually using the reset property. So for these, we are actually going to have some manual work involved in managing every aspect of the timer. And so that we don't run over 20 minutes, let's go ahead and take a break here. And when we come back, we will jump back in. We've got this timer set up for our fill. Now we just need to tie that to a one-shot and actually create a mode change based on that. Once we do that, we'll set up the drain and the alarms basically the same way, and we should have something that we can run very shortly. So see you in the next.